about today are blends at the end of words. I'd like us to start by looking at the word end and at the word blend. I'm going to write them up here, and I'd like you to see if you can notice something about the two of them. Here's the word end, and here's the word blend. If you observe with your eyes and look at these two words, do you find something that's the same about both of these words? What is it? What's the same about the two of these words? Yes, if you found that there's an ND in both of these words, that is a blend at the end of the words. Let's look at end and think about ND in that. N and D work together to say nd. Can you do that with me? Nd. And now let's say end. Can you say end? End. So today, I want you to remember that ND can say nd, and you often find that at the end of a word, especially when it's used as a blend. Can you say nd? Great. We're going to do two more. The next blend that I want to talk to you about today is N and K. This is what it sounds like. Nk. Can you say nk? Good job. You can still hear the n and the k, but we put them together and they say nk. Like in this word, bunk. I can say nk, bunk. It helps me to read bunk faster. I have one more to talk about with you. It's the st blend. Hey, but wait a minute. We've learned about the st before because st is a blend that can be at the beginning of a word or at the end of a word. Today we're going to think about the st at the end of a word. So we're going to do our what's that word say? Best. Best. We're going to do our best as we work on a word ladder together today, and we get to do some practicing with some of our ending blends. Hey there, word builders. We're doing a word ladder now. And for this lesson, I don't need a hammer and I don't need a level, but I do need my trusty pointer and I'm going to need my marker. You are going to want something to write with and something to write on where you are. The first word that we're going to start with is the word wind. The wind was whipping around outside. Wind. Say wind. Great job. Now let's say the sounds in wind. W, I, n, d, wind. Now we want to write the letters that match those sounds. We're going to remember to say the sounds as we write them. One more time, let's listen and do wind. Ready? W, I, n, d, wind. And now let's write the letters that match those sounds. Here we go. W, I, n, d, wind. Now I need to really make sure that my sounds match. So I'm going to point and we're going to say the sounds as we point to the letters. Here we go. W, I, n, d, wind. We just made the word wind, listening to our sounds and putting down the letters that we know. And guess what? We've been working on the nd blend and it's right there at the end of that word. Okay, so now we're going to do a change. Just one letter is going to change to make the word wind turn into the word mind. My mind was full of happy thoughts. mind. Let's think about what we'll do to change this word from w, I, n, d to I, n, d, mind. When we look at this word and we think about the sounds that we know, what's the one letter we'd have to change? The only one that doesn't have a letter that matches is the first sound. The first sound that I hear in the word mind is the I'm going to write that down and put down the sounds that I hear in mind as I walk you through writing it out. Write with me and say the sounds. Ready? I, n, d. Mind. Check that out. We only had to change one letter, but the I here sounds like an I instead of like an I, like it does in wind. Let's try another one. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to change one letter, just one letter, in mind to make it into the word mine. This hat is mine. Listen for the sound and do them together. Ready? Mine. I, mine. Let's think about what we're going to have to do. We only need to change one letter. Did you figure out which letter sound doesn't match to go from mind to mine? Yes, we don't need a d at the end of this word. So here's a little trick. There's going to be a letter that's going to help us, to help keep letter I saying I when we write mine. Let's say the sounds as we write the letters in mine. I, And have you ever heard that there's a letter that can be a final letter but help a vowel to say its name? That final letter is letter E. Let's check our sounds that we hear when we say the word mine. I, That says mine. We don't hear the E, but it helps the I to say I. You're doing a great job, builders. Now we're only going to take one letter that we need to change into the word pine. Mine will change to pine. This is an example of a branch from a pine tree. Say pine for me. Great job. What letter do we need to change from mine to pine? Yes, we need to change the first sound. And what letter represents the sound that we hear at the beginning of pine, the P? Yes, letter P makes the P sound. So let's change mine to pine and write the sounds as we hear them. Ready? I, pine. Let's check our sounds. I, pine. Well done. This time, builders, we are going to add one letter to make the word spine. If you feel in the middle of your back, right here, that is your spine. Can you feel your spine? Great. Say spine. Now let's listen for the sounds we hear in spine. S, p, I, n. S, p, I, n. Spine. What sound do we need to add to go from pine to spine? Yeah, I hear a S at the beginning. What letter represents the S sound? You've got it, that's letter S. So let's write down what we hear to change pine to spine. S, I, N. Spine. Now let's point and check. Spine. Spine. Great job. And guess what? Here's one of our beginning blends we worked on, the sp. So to say it fast, when you're reading a word like this, you could go spine, spine. Okay, we've made spine, and guess what? Now we are going to remove or take away one letter from spine to make the word spin. Let's all get up and spin around. Ready? Spin. What letter do you think we'd take away so that we could make it into spin from spine? Yes, we need to take away the letter E. Here's the difference that I hear is right in the middle. I hear an I instead of an I like in spine. Let's take away the E so that the I can say I. Let's write the sounds that we hear in spin. Here we go. S, p, I, n. Spin. Let's check the sounds in our words. S, p, I, n. Spin. Great work with the word spin. We're doing so much word building. Now, we're going to change spin into the word spun. We all just spun around. That happened in the past. So we'd say spun. Say spun. Great job saying spun. Now let's listen for the sounds in spun. S, p, n, spun. Where do you hear a difference from spin to spun? I hear a difference in the middle too. Instead of an I hear an What letter represents the sound? Yes, that's letter U. U makes the sound. Let's write spun. Here we go. Let's make sure that we write and say the sounds as we write. Spun. The next word we're going to make is the word stun. When something happens that you don't expect, it might stun you. Stun. Can you say stun? Okay, let's listen for the sounds. Stun. St, n, stun. What sound do you hear that we need to change spun to stun? I hear a t in stun too. What letter represents the t sound? Yes, letter T. Let's write the word stun. Here we go. Stun. And look, it has that beginning blend of st. Let's check those sounds and let's blend the ST together. Ready? St, stun. This is it. The last word in our word ladder that's actually related to the daytime sky we've been talking about. Think you can guess what it is? The very last word in our word ladder today is the word sun. The sun was shining bright. Sun. Can you say sun? Okay, let's listen to the sounds in sun. S, n, sun. What letter do we need to take away to go from stun to sun? We don't need a t in sun. We need to take that away. So let's take out what letter that represents the T? Letter T. Let's take that out to change stun into sun. Here we go. Sun. Let's check our sounds. Sun. Wow. We went from wind to sun, all within our word ladder, using what we know about letters and about sounds, and having a little time to practice what we've been learning about our blend of nd at the end, our blend of sp at the beginning, and our blend of st. Excellent job.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by viewers like you. Thank you.